Big news for the Cowboys. Team owner and general manager Jerry Jones hired a new coach, and for many, it's a big surprise. ICE reports it has arrested hundreds of people, how new immigration policies are being implemented, and what it could mean for undocumented North Texans. And temperatures are warming up a bit, but a cold front and possible showers come back in the forecast. Kylie has more on that in just a second. Good Day Saturday starts right now.
Good Day Saturday, live and local on Fox 4.
Good morning. I'm Tisia Anchor. Thank you for joining us on Good Day Saturday. So we start with a major update. All right, let's turn things over. Cowboys fans, you're waking up to this morning to the news that former offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer is head coach. Now, he was hired by former head coach Mike McCarthy at the end of the 2022 season. He replaced Kellen Moore, but never called the plays. Well, Jerry Jones formally interviewed 4 coaching candidates, but Schottenheimer was the only one to sit down with Jones twice. And last night on Free For All, Mike Ducey talked about the hiring of Schottenheimer and why fans may need to be patient.
He's a pretty impressive guy to listen to. You know, he's well-spoken. There's a certain energy there that I think people, once they get past this initial shock, may be kind of impressed with. It's just, you know, Cowboys fans just haven't heard much from the guy because, again, he was an offensive coordinator, didn't call the play. So, you know, as an individual, I think he's fairly impressive, but the Cowboys, Jerry just has to hope that again, he's found that diamond in the rough, and I think that's probably how he's going to try to sell it.
Well, Free For All will have more on the hiring of Brian Schottenheimer tonight on Fox 4 News at 9. And we'll have more Cowboys news in the next half hour of Good Day Saturday. All right, let's turn things over to Kylie with a look at the forecast. This shouldn't be a bad weekend, huh?
Yeah, kind of half and half, Tisia, but a little bit of everything for everyone. Today, the mild air hangs around. We're back in the low 60s this afternoon as clouds stream in. These clouds are taking a little bit longer, though, so because of that, I think we climb into the low 60s for most. Winds will be out of the south, breezy at times, and then those clouds will roll in, especially through the back half of the day, late afternoon into the early evening hours. A cold front drops in tonight with just low shower chances. We're talking 20 to 30% coverage, especially for areas to the east and south. Clouds stay put tomorrow, preventing temperatures from climbing, with most of us in the upper 40s to about 50 degrees. Here's a look at satellite and radar currently. Just some mid to high level clouds right now. Temperature is not falling as much as we've seen over the last several mornings. Finally, most of North Texas waking up to temperatures above freezing. There are a couple of exceptions. Terrell falling to the freezing mark, Waxahachie falling to 31, but that's basically it. The rest of us several degrees above freezing, and a quick trip up is expected this afternoon. Winds right now are still kind of breezy and out of the south, and they'll stay that way all afternoon long before that cold front drops in, and then we'll see that wind shift out of the north and could gust anywhere between 10 and 15 miles per hour tomorrow. So high temperatures across the board today. Most of us will be in the low 60s. Minimal showers tomorrow, especially for areas to the east and south. That's where coverage will be slightly higher. We're dry on Monday. Low shower chances return Tuesday, with a few more showers possible Wednesday, and then late week widespread showers and storms return to the forecast. I'll break all that down for you in just a few minutes.
All right, Kylie, thank you. A developing story from last night. Police are looking for the individuals who shot and killed a security guard at the CVS pharmacy on Main Street in downtown Dallas. Police say they were called to the pharmacy around 11 o'clock and found the wounded guard. He was rushed to the hospital and then was pronounced dead. Police say 2 men inside the store attempted to steal some items when they were confronted by the guard. They say that's when a struggle began, and at some point, one of the men pulled a gun and then opened fire. The guard was struck, and police say the men ran away. Well, the bodies of 2 people were pulled from a mobile home destroyed by fire in Wiley, northeast of Dallas. Officials say the medical examiner's office will identify the victims and whether the fire caused their deaths. No one else was hurt. The Wiley Fire Department says 31 firefighters were needed to put down the flames. The cause of Friday evening's fire is still under investigation. Well, a man is in critical condition after officials say he accidentally came into contact with a high voltage power line. It happened Friday morning in Burleson, south of Fort Worth. The fire department said he was one of 3 people working on a cell phone tower. Officials say one person called 911 after a coworker had been shocked. One worker climbed down, another needed help, and a third was badly injured. Encore briefly turned off the power while firefighters rescued the critically injured worker and sent one to a hospital. Well, officials say a student from Ann Richards STEM Academy in Pleasant Grove is being treated for a knife wound. Dallas ISD's superintendent sent a letter to families regarding Friday afternoon's incident. The letter indicates an altercation between two students that ended in a stabbing. No one else was hurt, and police arrested the other student involved. Well, Pete Hegseth is now the U.S. Secretary of Defense. President Trump's controversial nominee made it through the Senate Armed Services Committee. Well, last night, his confirmation became uncertain after Republican Senators Susan Collins of Maine, Mitch McConnell of Kentucky, and Lisa Murkowski of Alaska voted no. That left it up to Vice President J.D. Vance to cast the tie-breaking vote. His confirmation was expected to be close, with allegations of excessive drinking and sexual assault, as well as lack of experience working against him. Well, the White House says deportation flights have begun after carrying out its first round of immigration enforcement. The White House also released video of U.S. Marines on the border. They are working with Customs and Border Patrol, and the Pentagon previously said troops would be sent to San Diego and El Paso. It's part of the president's effort to send more resources to cities along the border. Fox 4's Stephen Dow reports.
Friday morning, the White House shared these images saying deportation flights have begun. ICE agents arrested more than 500 people in President Trump's first week in office. The operation drawing praise but also criticism when it comes to protection against unlawful search and seizure.
We can't quibble about the Fourth Amendment. We can't quibble about the 14th Amendment. That everybody has the right to due process, that we should be secure in our person, in our papers, in our property from undue search and seizure.
The raid on a Newark, New Jersey business has the city's Democrat mayor and others wanting answers. Mayor Ross Baraka said among those detained were U.S. citizens, one a military veteran. Baraka says the detainees were fingerprinted and photographed on site.
They went in the back of the establishment. We believe that there were 3 people who they say were undocumented that they detained, but they also detained folks that were, in fact, citizens of this country. One person showed their military veteran identification and was still questioned anyway.
ICE responded that its agents may encounter U.S. citizens while conducting field work and may request identification to establish an individual's identity, as was the case during a targeted enforcement operation at a work site in Newark, New Jersey. The Trump administration says these operations are targeting criminals. In other states, those arrested have been charged with crimes like murder and sexual assault. There's no evidence of ICE raids happening here in North Texas. But the news of a change in enforcement strategy has some concerned.
Students are afraid to come to school. We have seen a notable drop in attendance this week alone.
At Thursday night's Dallas ISD school board meeting, 2 teachers told the board some students are concerned about their families being impacted by possible raids.
Every day this week, I have walked into my classroom and I see fear and concern in the faces of my students. Some of whom have families who are living in constant fear, that fear of being deported.
Stephen Dial, Fox 4 News.
Well, Texas Senate Republicans revealed their plan to get school vouchers passed after they didn't get it done last time around. A look at how it stacks up compared to the money going toward public schools. And taxes could be going up for some Texas homeowners, while you may need to refile for your homestead exemption next.